Everyone knows evolution by natural selection can't happen because mutation can only eliminate traits.
You couldn't be further from the truth. Do you mind if I explain a bit?
Fine, but I don't think you'll convince me otherwise.
Well, first, we need to understand mutations. Mutations in the DNA are responsible for variation in a population.
When DNA mutates, it means traits are lost, right?
Not necessarily. Genetic mutations are quite common, but they're rarely phenotypically expressed. Mutations change the base sequence of DNA, but there are only certain parts of the genetic code that affect the external appearance of an organism. Mutations result in the random loss or gain of traits.
So mutations are just an individual adapting to survive?
Not exactly. An individual can't mutate themselves. It just happens by chance when DNA is replicating during conception. They don't specifically happen to aid or abet an individual's ability to survive, but it might change the likelihood of an individual to pass on their genes through reproduction.
So it's basically just a lottery?
Basically.
But what's natural selection's part in this?
Natural selection favours individuals with advantageous traits that make them more likely to survive and reproduce. When a new useful trait develops through mutation, it's likely to be passed on to its offspring.
And that would mean more green beetles?
Exactly.
What's an example of a trait being gained through mutation?
Well, we can have a look at macroevolution. Macroevolution is what leads to the variation seen among species. As it occurs on the grand timescale, and our lives are short, macroevolution is something we must infer by observing outcomes caused by mutations and indirect evidence of them, like the fossil record.
So we just see a tiny window in the evolution process?
Yes, exactly. One example is the variations in hemoglobin blood types among people. We can only see the result of the mutations that led to them. Blood types arose in their respective geographical areas, and these different blood types carry with them a tolerance or intolerance to certain conditions. For example, blood group O is more resistant to malaria compared to other groups. This has allowed this mutation to be naturally selected for in human evolution.
Wait, so we can't really see evolution happening in real time?
We can. It's called microevolution. Microevolution is like macroevolution, except it occurs on a smaller timescale. This allows us to see it in our lifetime. For example, the increase of antibiotic resistance. The use of antibiotics started 100 years ago as humanity's best weapon against bacterial infections. Bacteria developed defenses against this in the form of an enzyme that breaks down antibiotics, making them useless. This was found early in antibiotic history, and it poses a threat to modern medicine.
How does that prove mutations can add traits?
The mutation that helps this resistance is not new, but our regular use of antibiotics has selected for its continued success in the modern age. It arose due to special areas of DNA that can rearrange, delete, or uptake new genes. This proves that mutations can add traits, because this one codes for a whole new enzyme that ensures bacterial survival.
Wow, this has been observed by us in real time?
Yes, bacteria have short lifespans, letting us see many generations over a small time frame, so changes in antibiotic resistance are easily observed. You can now see that mutations can add new traits as well as cause for the loss of traits, allowing for natural selection to take place and for continuous evolution. This is why we have a wide variety of animals today.
Thank you for explaining it all to me.
No worries, you learn something new every day.